Oh, connect. Very nice. Thank you for the information. Okay, so hello everyone. Hello, obviously to our team, and hello to Mas J, our speaker for today. So Mas J is Cavlent, and he will be talking about the soft skill questionnaire that most of you, not all of you, but most of you filled out. So today is a peer-to-peer session, and the topic of today is understanding your investing personality and potential. So again, thank you very much for all of you who have made the time to come here, and hopefully you will grab something valuable from this lesson or this class today. So let's move to the next slide. There we go. So today's agenda is first of all, what is peer-to-peer? And after that, we will leave the stage to Mas J or Mr. J from Semarang, Central Java, for the ones who are not in Indonesia. And he will be talking about understanding your investing personality and potential. And then after that, basically, we will have a discussion. And obviously, we encourage everyone to join this discussion. And we will top it all off with the question and answer session. We will also briefly touch the scheduling, well, basically poll that we had, and we will discuss that at the end of this session. So what is peer-to-peer? We can move on. So we already discussed the program, how it will look like, and now we are in the Angel community part of this program, where we will have several sections in the learning phase. And one of them is peer-to-peer, as you can see at the lower right corner, peer-to-peer sessions. What are these peer-to-peer sessions? The idea is that we have your peers, from the angel investment community who will share their wisdom, who will share their knowledge. And we could touch on several subjects. One of them, obviously, is to build a sense of community inside this angel studio, and to encourage discussions within this community. And it's also to address investment skills, things that can be done better, things that can be improved, or things that are already great, and how to maintain it, basically. And obviously, we also want to stay up to date with industry trends. Today, specifically with Mr. J, we're talking about soft skills, and we're talking about how to improve our soft skills in order to become the best version of angel investors that we can be. So let's continue with that. Today, we have Mr. J. Adinata. He is, well, okay, CMO of Cavlent, and Cavlent is the company that has provided the wonderful soft skill questionnaires that all of you have, or no, not all, but most of you have filled out. For the ones who have not filled it out, you can again check your email. We have sent you a link to fill out the soft skill questionnaire. So maybe today, if you haven't, and maybe today with the discussion with Mr. J and also him explaining all the different aspects of the soft skill questionnaire, maybe you're more interested and you will also fill it out. And today, at least, you will sort of have an idea of how to read this report and how to use it to your advantage to become, a better angel investor. And maybe it can help you in the future to make better investment decisions, basically. So here we are with Mr. J. Adinata. J. Adinata has always been interested in creativity, technology, entrepreneurship, and has been a serial entrepreneur since 2014. Hence, we call this a peer-to-peer session. Despite having experienced failures with his previous 5 startups, which, is very normal in the startup scene, that happens from time to time. It's actually good. It makes you stronger, right? And he did not let this stop him from becoming a better entrepreneur. Hence, today we have Cavlent here. And he is now leading 2 companies as director, Spasium and CMO of Cavlent, and is on his way to providing the market with the best and most applicable solutions. What is Cavlent? I will just be very brief on it because I'm very sure that Jay will obviously be much, much better in explaining it. Cavlent is a modern psychotest platform that focuses on soft skills assessment to map your strengths, weaknesses, and talents for hiring, promotion, self-mastery, and self-development. So today, some of you, the ones who have filled out the soft skill questionnaire, you have been sent the results of it. So you can use that as a basis or as your reference point today to understand what Mr. J is discussing today. If after the session you are more still interested in learning more about this, Cavlent will send you an email basically, and then you can have a one-on-one session with Mr. J if you so desire. For us as the team, we did this and it's actually quite interesting. So now we go to the man of the hour, Jay Adinata.
Thank you, Arifin. Wow, really exciting, yeah, to have been invited to this session, and hopefully everyone who joined the session will learn something and will have a fruitful insight during the whole discussion. And I wish everyone will be active as well. Please ask as many questions as you need, as long as there's still within the time frame, yeah, Mas Arifin, yeah. Okay, and I heard that most of you have filled the questionnaire, and actually most of you has been sent, yeah, the report. May I know who has received the report? Can you just digitally raise your hand? Anyone? Okay, thank you, Melania. So you have received the result. Okay, anyone else? Hans. Okay. Can you share in the chat room what do you see or what do you think when you receive the report? And is there any particular expectation that you want to clarify during the session? Why I ask this? At least I can help to guide the discussion to answer your questions. If you don't mind, please share in the chat room what are you expecting from the discussion. Anyone? One of you, one or two person, please share in the chat room. Anyone? Let's wait for another few seconds. I saw some of you already unmute. Maybe if you want to share your opinion, also welcome, yeah. There is the Gu and Hans. I saw you just unmute. Maybe you want to share something? Share your 2 cents?
That's okay.
Okay.
Maybe some of them are still a little bit shy. So maybe let's start first and then we will circle back to the questions later.
All right, cool. Okay, so before I start, I want to share the main things from the discussion that we will be having after the in the whole session. Yeah. So everyone, all of the questionnaire that you have received and you have done the result are mainly assessing the soft skill area. Yeah. So we are not checking your experiences. We are checking your technical skill in terms of investing. But when you're completing the assessment, what we see more are mostly on the soft skill area. We are talking about your attitude, your potential, your habits, and so on. And for today's discussion, the committee already selected that there are 6 main things that is considered if you are going to be an angel investor. So I believe for those who have received the report, receiving a one-page report like this, and so what I show here is a dummy version. Yeah, so it's an anonymous report. So I just want to share how to interpret this, and I do hope whoever that have received the report can see your own result while I am explaining the result. Okay, and hopefully you guys can prepare questions later. Okay, so the committee have selected that there are 6 potentials that is significant, yeah, to detect the investing personality. The first one are your potential in terms of data analysis, and then the proposing, intermediary, and the negotiation potential, the briefing and counseling potential, intuition, and then, wait, I need to move here. Okay. And then the public relation, creativity, and innovation. So every one of you will have this potential. Okay. But the degree and the strength of each potential might be different. And this session will help you to understand what are the meaning of each of the combination. So basically, if the degree is more on the right side, it shows that your potential on that area tend to be stronger. And if the degree is more on the left side, it shows that that potential need to be developed further. Yeah. And then one thing for sure, because it is based on soft skill, it's not something that permanent forever. What does it mean? It will be growing or it will be decreasing depends on your mindset, how you behave, how you deal with problems, how you learn on new things. Okay. The point is, it's not telling you you are bad, you are right, or you are wrong. No, it will help you to guide if this is something that you need to do, that you like to do. If the potential is not that strong, it means that you need to put more effort on that area. Because the best situation is if you have the potential, you also have the right hard skill and knowledge. That is the best scenario. And plus, if you have the interest in that particular area, it will be the best combination. Okay? But you need to also pay attention if any of you receive the result that comes with the green color like this in any potential. The green color, it tells you that the potential, that particular potential on your side, really based on your mood, based on your external situation. The thing is, if you don't really understand the trigger, then it might be challenging if you need that potential, but you don't know the trigger. Let's say, actually, I need to be a better, I need to have a better potential in terms of prediction, intuition, like that. But if I don't know the trigger, I will treat this potential differently. But if I know the trigger, such as, hey, I can be more instinctive if we are talking about, let's say, any kind of topic or any kind of industries, then at least you can go deeper into that area because you understand that that is the best trigger to make sure your potential is consistently seen. Okay? And to understand the whole things, you need to see the combination. Because everyone will have a different combination, and different combination might be seen in different behavior. And the last part here, everyone will have different motives, and the result will tell you what is the most significant motive that you might be aware already or you are not aware at the moment. And different motivation will need different treatment. And this motivation actually can guide you to find which industry that is actually suitable with your calling, or that will motivate you to be more active as an angel investor. So maybe that's the initial discussion for now, initial introduction for me. Let me stop share at the moment to see if there is any questions. Yeah. Okay. Before we go on the discussion session, if any of you want to ask, hey, why my result is like this or blah blah blah. Anyone? You wanna share questions?
Maybe Mas J.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think Aparna wants to ask something. So Aparna, please go ahead. I see you're already showing up your
No,
beautiful
okay.
background.
So hi Jay, thank you for this. And a quick question. So the light green one, right? Where we are basically on average. What you're trying to say is we should be aware that this is an area where it can be a trigger, and I need to understand it deeper to move more towards the other shades of blue, right? Currently,
Yes.
it's an area I haven't harnessed or understood fully, right? It's much more on a subconscious level. Is that it?
Subconscious, yes, that's one of the area. But to go deeper, let's say I just use a simple case study. If I don't understand myself, I might think that, oh, Jay is someone that is good at talking. Let's say, yeah. But maybe on the outside, my friends will see me, well, Jay, you are good at speaking, you are good at public relation and so on. But maybe I will feel, no, actually, I don't like to talk. But why all of you can think that way? So it might be triggered by, first, let's say, oh, I might be interested to talk if we are talking about particular subject. Or I can talk more if depending on who are my target audience. Or I think I can talk if there's any particular timing, okay, I can talk better if I have already get some delicious lunch, that's maybe, or whatever. Or sometimes it depends on your mood. But the thing is, if you don't know the trigger, sometimes you just think, well, I think people already think that I'm good at talking, but why I don't feel like I want to talk? It might create a different treatment or different judging from yourself to your own belief. Yeah. So basically, by understanding this, you might have a better chance to have a better public relation on this case, or better intuition. So need to understand the triggers so you can treat yourself better. Something like that.
Understood. Got it. Yeah,
Answer
back
your
to
question?
Finn. He has his hands up now. So back to Harishan.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add, Aparna, or that's it?
No, that's it. It gives me a fair idea. Yeah. So it's basically understanding your triggers, right? Then
Yeah.
If that comes with the green, yeah, only for the green
yeah.
one.
Green. Yes, I know the bright green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Thank
Um,
you.
Mas J, can we
Yes.
maybe show all of the 6 parameters, if you don't mind? Yeah,
Yes.
so just a little bit of context. So basically, why we chose these 6 parameters with Jay and also the team with Raka and Jeffa and Daniel and everyone basically is because obviously, if you want to become an investor, you are rewarded for risk, for taking risk. You put your funding, your money, your capital into a company. Um, and you take risk by doing that, and then you are rewarded for taking that risk in the end. So for us, very important is to see intuition, prediction, and speculation, which basically in so many words shows us what risk tolerance you have. Is it high? Is it low? Is it enough, or is it too low? So for instance, it doesn't mean it's bad or good, nothing at all. It just means, what is your tendency? Are you a risk adverse person, or are you a risk tolerant person, or are you actually someone with a very big risk appetite? And then we couple that with data analysis and strategies planner. Why? Because you want to take risk, but you want to take calculated risk. That's the whole idea of investing. Because if you basically just take risk and you hope for the best and you just put everything on red, that's basically called gambling. And we want to avoid that. We want to avoid people just basically going into investment decisions without being fully informed and without trying to get all the information that they can before investing in something. So for us, it's very important, or for you personally, it should be very important that you pay attention to these two parameters: intuition, prediction, and speculation, which is your risk tolerance, and data analysis and strategies planner, which means that you're someone who wants to study before taking a risk. And everything else is obviously also important, but those are the key parameters for the Angel Studio and for angel investors in general. So if you can propose intermediary and negotiation, that means that, you know, you're very good at negotiating, which obviously is very helpful if you want to negotiate a contract, if you want to get a better deal for yourself, and so on and so forth. So that's quite important. Briefing and counseling, it would be very nice if you have it, but not everyone is a great mentor. But it basically shows if you have at the moment, yeah, if you naturally have that ability to counsel someone, to mentor someone, to guide them in the right direction. And this is obviously something that can be improved by learning, by taking classes, by getting another mentor, for instance. And this is very important for startups and small and medium enterprises, because a lot of times they're very focused on what they're doing day to day. And they don't have time to think outside of the box. They don't have time to look at industry trends and see where the industry is going or something like that. And for that, they are very helpful if they can get mentors who can guide them in that regard. And as an investor, you know, when you have that basically the helicopter perspective, it can be very helpful because you can see some things that they just don't see, and then you can mentor them on that. Public relation and social interaction, as Jay already discussed with Aparna, it obviously is important that you are able to interact with people, that how to talk to people, you know, what triggers them, and so on and so forth. And creativity and innovation, we just thought it would be important that you are creative in finding solutions. So for instance, if a company has a problem, that you can find innovative solutions for them. Like, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? And last but not least, motivation, which I think Jay also already touched on. There are 5 different types of motivation. Jay, can you maybe say what motivations are out there, and, you know, what are the implications for each individual with those motivations, basically?
Yes, thank you. And also later I will elaborate more on the Arifin's explanation, because it also will help the understanding. Yeah. So basically there are 5 kind of motivation, and I believe most of you, it might show social sense. I believe most of you might show reward and benefit, satisfaction, appreciation, acknowledgement. Yeah. So its motivation actually will be a good guidance to understand which area that you can consider. So let's say if the motivation shown in your report are social sense, actually it already tells you that something or some industry that related to or providing a potential social impact tend to be more interested for you. That become a trigger. At least you can see more or pay attention more on, hey, which industry that have more social impact, or pay attention more on the area, social area. And then if the motivations shown on the report are satisfaction, the person tend to be more interested if the industry is a bit not conventional, a bit challenging, a bit wild, maybe like, wow, it's so difficult, yeah. But someone with a satisfaction motivation tend to be more challenged if they think, well, I think it's very challenging and I'm interested to be part of that industry. So the motivation can be a guide, a good guide for you to define which area of industry that can attract, that can have your interest. Yeah. And then let's say for reward and benefit, it might be better for you to find something that is have a higher return, because it's something that already proven, something that already, you know, the numbers are good. It's easier for you to it's better for you to pay attention on that area. And then if there is in the report there are acknowledgement or acknowledgement, it might be good for you to consider industry that how do you say that? Yeah, industry that have a higher chance of publication, award, or something like that. And then if your motivations are appreciation, it tends to be you like something or prefer a chance to be to have more personal persuasive with the founder, or at least you like to do something but under the radar, you know. So at least it also will help you to find, if I want to take part on this startups, what kind of involvement that is expected to me to be to do on that sense. So that's about the motivation, Arifin.
And Masjid, I mean, obviously here it says weak, below average, average, good, and very good. And then obviously for us, normally in our mind, if something is weak or below average, it means it's not good. And if something is good and very good, it means it's very good.
Yeah.
But are there any of these parameters where, for instance, very good does not necessarily mean it's very good? It could be something that actually goes the other way around. So I think we discussed this in our early discussions. So can
Yep.
you maybe explain where uh, something that is dark blue is not necessarily the best solution or the best result that you can get? That's something that can still be adjusted or even needs to be adjusted.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's a very good question. Yes. So basically, everyone, the report here shows your current situation, your current personality. Okay. But to understand this, you need to understand the context of the purpose of why you are taking part of the investment program, why you're taking part in the startup. So let's say using this report, yeah. Uh, the briefing and counseling is so high, considered high because dark blue, yeah. And the creativity and innovation is also considered dark blue, is quite high. But you are selecting an industry that might not need a very innovative ideas, don't that not really need something that too innovative. If that's the case, your creativity and innovation might be a backfire because your nature of thinking is tend to be innovative ideas, full of ideas, but not really relevant in the industry. So being strong for your own side is good, but if it's not relevant to the context, then it might not be suitable. So that's how to see the result. Yeah. So and say let's say if you are your briefing and counseling is on red area, it shows that your potential in doing briefing, doing counseling doesn't mean that you cannot do that. But if you're interested to do that with but your result is red, it means that you need to put a lot of effort to be able to do the briefing and counseling things. But if the startup that you chose doesn't really need the briefing and counseling, then having the red briefing and counseling means something that okay, just that's it's just not relevant to the startup, but at least it can be a guide, information for you that if you want to be a better counselor or a better mentor, then that's an area that you can work out to improve to be a better counselor if you choose to be a better one. But if it's not relevant, then well, it's just an information for you. That's Arvin. Arvin, back to you, Arvin.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question, Jay.
Oh, hi. Who is this?
Yeah, my name is Hans. I have a question.
Oh,
So
yes.
we already discussed all of the parameters, right? And then there's also a conclusion in relation to the suitable approach to encourage.
Yep.
So I got a social sense. So I just want to know what are the pros and cons of this in relation to, being investor.
Okay. Thank you. That was Hans, correct? Okay. First of all, The summary in here, wait, the summary here, it's not the summary of all of this potential. It's just explaining about your motivation area. So motivation is talking about only the motivation side, but you need to also consider the level, the degree of this potential. Okay, so let's say the pro is if your result social sense, yeah, Hans. If you choose something that is have a startup that have a social impact, that really always talk about the social effect, uh, providing career for everyone and so on, anything that's social, it might be a good motivation for you. But again, please check as well with the potential. Yeah, I will elaborate more on this area. But the cons is, if you are having a social sense motivation and your startup that you choose actually have the social impact, but the social impact doesn't relevance to your social, then it might be a cons. You know what I mean? So you need to also understand what is the social sense, the definition of social of the startup with your social is relevant. Because if it's not relevant, then it becomes information only. Okay, and and also the significant cons. Let's say if you have a motivation is in social sense, but you choose something the startup that has less social impact, then it might not be a good idea, yeah, for you. It might not be a good calling for you. Am I answering your questions, Han?
Yeah, but I think I'm not really clear about social sense itself because I understand there is a definition there, right?
Yep.
6 connections, but from your example, it's just whether the value is in line with, I mean, the value of investment is in line with my value from the perspective of social
Yeah.
sense.
Social sense is the big domain. You need to go deeper into okay, what social sense that you think is more suitable, because social sense is just the direction, but if the social definition is not the same, then even though you are on the same track, but it might not be resonate, yeah, to you, yeah.
Yeah, because initially when I read this, I thought that it's something that if you have, a good connection with a company that you want to invest, I mean, like when they pitch and then you feel like a good social interaction, then you want to invest there. So one of the approach of being invited to become an investor of a company, you have to have like a strong connection first and strong networking in the very first place. I thought it was like that. So, but it's actually a different one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. If about a social connection and interaction, it might be the right one is in this area, public relation. But on social sense here, really talking about what kind of approach that will motivate you. So actually, you are seeking in again in the description, social sense is you are looking for in the short one, you are looking for social impact, regardless how big is the impact or how small is the impact. At least it's on the social area. By helping people, actually by helping people is establishing a connection, right? But about social impact, the bigger one, actually we are talking about anything that relates to having an impact on other people. That is something that motivate you. That's to explain the social sense about the specifically on the motivation part. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Thank you so much for the explanation. I think it's clear.
okay. And may I ask you, when you saw your own result on this 6, do you think it resonated to you? it's not this report yet, but please check your own result, and may I know?
Yeah, I think it resonates a bit with me. Mostly the results are blue, but one thing that is still orange is creativity and innovation. So when I read the report, I was like, does it mean that I'm not creative enough or I'm not innovative enough? But yeah, I think that this is just indication, right? I mean, this is just from soft skill perspective, not like from
Not
technical
based on your
skills. And
interest.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yes, yes. So,
So yeah, when I read the report, I was like a bit worried. Oh, am I not creative enough or innovative enough? But when I saw the other lines, they are blue, and I was like, okay, at least the other five, I'm good enough for this.
okay. Hans, do you mind if I elaborate more about on that area for you? So it might help you to understand more about yourself, since you already
Yes,
mentioned. Okay.
sure.
So
But
since
I hope that my questions doesn't take time of this session.
oh, no worries, no worries, because
No worries.
your
This is for you. This is for all the participants. So please ask all the questions that you want to ask.
yes, and it will help me. This your explanation, your comment just now. It will help me to elaborate the explanations, and also it will explain. I can also elaborate on Arifin's comment before, yeah, about the why they think intuition is something that's significant, and also with data. I will through this I will explain the connection. Yeah. Okay. So let's say, Hans, all of the six, sorry, most of the six here on your side is blue, and the only one that is orange is the creativity. Yeah. Again, without context, this is something. Okay, this is me. So what? But understanding the context is the most significant thing that you need to understand. So if the creativity, regardless your interest, yeah, in any particular area, if the creativity and innovation is not that strong, it means that if you are interested on the innovation area, actually you need to have more effort to be more creative. But if the industry doesn't really require any creative ideas here, any wild things, and needs someone that is more, like more predictive, something that is more standardized, already have the pattern and so on, someone with not so strong creativity and innovation might be the right one. Sorry, it might be the most suitable one for that area. Okay, but if the industry require a strong creativity, then on that case you might need to have more effort to reach that area. Again, it's not about bad or right or wrong. It's just find the suitability with your context. And then if I think I will jump into Arifin's explanation before to give another context. Let's say data analysis and intuitions is something, yeah, can be considered significant, yeah, Arifin, yeah, in terms of investment. Let me explain you with this analogy. Imagine someone with weak and imagine someone with not so strong in terms of data analysis, but very strong dark blue in terms of intuition. Can you imagine what kind of personality, investor personality, if that is the combination? Anyone? No, not you, Arifin. There's the rest. Aparna, maybe you want to share your opinion. Hans, you want to share your opinion? If nobody answered, then you can go your answer, Arifin.
Maybe gambler.
Oh, who is this?
Me.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. It can be considered it's a gambler, or to be exact, the person is very they use more on their intuition with less analytical side. So it might be based, usually this kind of person will be based on, well, I feel this is something that will work, but I don't know why. Okay, but let's say consider the reverse one. Someone with a very strong analysis, but very not so strong in terms of intuition. What would it be? Yes, Raka, Arifin, or the rest? Arifin, you can answer this question.
Teacher, very kind of you. Well, basically, a very, very conservative investor who will basically do research and again and again and again and again and again and again. And it could be that eventually this person will decide not to invest because, yeah, they overthink it, basically.
Yes, that's the tendency, everyone. So knowing your own result, it will tell you something, and it will help you to understand what kind of investment risk that is more favorable with your own personality. Let's say if the result shows that you are not so strong in terms of briefing and counseling, yeah, maybe it's better for you to find a sector that is more suitable with your strength area. If the startup required you to do more one-on-one coaching, yeah, if you like to do that, that's a different case. But it's better for you to emphasize more on area that is already strong at your side. Okay, but let's say on Hans' case, data analysis is strong, proposing is strong, briefing counseling is strong, intuition is strong, public relation is strong. Then again, if the startup or industry requires something that not that strong, then sometimes because if it's already too strong, it becomes a bit automatic response on your side when you deal with any kind of situation. So understanding yourself will help you. Well, sometimes we feel we understand ourselves. We're already aware about who we are. But with data, usually it will give you a more valid explanation sometimes why you feel that way or what you think about yourself. Okay, back to everyone. If you guys have any questions to elaborate, would love to listen about it. Let me stop share. May I poke Hans? Hans, the elaborate. How about the explanation? Is it?
Yeah, I think it was clear. So yeah, I think now I have a better perspective on my report. So thank you so much for the explanation.
You're welcome, Hans. So it's not about right or wrong. And again, if on the any potential that's not so strong, doesn't mean it will be forever not that strong. It means that if you need to work on something that is not your strength, you can choose whether you want to do that or not, or you can choose to uh, develop the area a little bit. Doesn't mean that you can change directly from not that strong into something stronger. It's not something like that, but at least you can try to do something to manage the level. So at least it's not that weak, yeah.
Jake, if there are
Yes.
no questions yet, maybe some are still or everything has already been explained. But basically, if you read this report, which is also interesting, last week when we discussed the different types of investments that we will be discussing in the future, which are loans, convertible notes, equity investment, and also sweat equity. So basically, what's interesting there is that from the results that you had, from the parameters that you had, a certain mix and match of that can actually coincide with the types of investments that fit you best. So, for instance, if you have a lower risk tolerance, but you're good in data analysis, it's possible that loans are a better fit for you because loans are very straightforward. You know, what is your ROI, when you get your principal, and when you get your interest, basically. So it's all, you're not going to get exponentially rich, you're not going to become a billionaire, but you know exactly when you will get your sort of your investment back. But if you, for instance, have a high risk tolerance and also strong data analysis, then equity is a very good fit for you because that's the highest risk that you can take if you have an equity investment somewhere. Some companies, they also have profit sharing schemes, for instance, which is a little bit lower risk, but for that, you would also need to be active in negotiating a good deal for you, and also maybe briefing and counseling, meaning that, and also public relations, social interaction, because you might have to help this company to increase their sales, because the better their sales, the better your revenue, the better, your dividends in the end of the day. And then also, for instance, if you don't have strong data analysis, you don't have strong intuition, prediction, and speculation, but you still want to invest, maybe a good fit for you would be sweat equity. Sweat equity means if you don't put in money, but you put in your effort, you put in your time, you put in your expertise, and for that, as a reward, you are given shares. Um, that could be a good fit if your negotiating skills are good, your briefing and counseling is good, your public relation is good, and you're innovative, for instance, if you have all of those. So there are many ways to look at this, and for us it's just very interesting to see how it can help you as an investor. So again, maybe some of you are still sort of digesting the report, but if you do have follow-up questions, go for it. Please ask us, or maybe you can ask the master himself, Mr. J. Uh, and yeah, we can probably figure something out, like a follow-up call or something like that. And Cavlent will also send out emails to all of the ones who have filled out this questionnaire. And then if you do want to have a one-on-one with Mr. J, you can obviously schedule that as well. Yeah, that would be it from me, but maybe some other people have questions.
Maybe from my side, to add what Arifin mentioned, actually, also consider your motivation. Sometimes the motivation could be a game changer. So knowing your own potential is one thing, and then combine it with the motivation. Because if you find the right motivation, if you have the right motivation with the right startup, and also combine it with the right potential, then that will be the best scenario for you. That's from me, Arifin and Raka.
Okay, thank you very much. So we leave it to the floor. Besides Hans and Aparna, does anyone else have a question? Buat teman-teman yang misalnya nggak nyaman dalam bahasa Inggris, juga dalam bahasa Indonesia, silahkan ditanyakan. Ada pertanyaan, misalnya Mas Hendy, atau Daniel, atau Ferdiansyah, atau Mas Kianu, siapapun itu yang ada pertanyaan, silahkan loh. So we open the floor to you guys untuk bertanya or to ask questions. And if not, then we will move on in the program.
Yes.
I saw Kathy. Yes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kathy. I apologize that I cannot turn on my video today. I'm a bit camera shy, so I hope everybody understands. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Kathy. Okay, we can hear you.
So I have a questions about my report. Actually, my report came out most of them are green. So I understand that if you have green, it means that you have to notice what kind of sort of a trigger that makes you more motivated and less motivated. The question is, how do you figure it out? What is the trigger? Thanks.
Okay, cool. So, is that the only questions, Kathy?
I hope so.
Oh,
Thank
okay. Sorry, I asked the wrong question. Okay, thank you for sharing, for asking that question, Kathy. Okay, how do you figure it out? So, yeah, if most of them are green, all of them are green, I would say that your mood actually takes more control on most of the time. But to help that, start with the motivation, because sometimes the motivation can be a good guidance to start. Let's say I have a friend that has a strong social sense, but he doesn't feel his business actually have the social impact. So he keep doing things as usual, like just do it lah. Mau grow atau nggak grow, ya just let it be lah. But because of most of the case are green, then actually he doesn't really know yet at the moment, at the time. But again, during the self-discovery process, he kept asking about what are the social sense of my business, why I don't feel like I'm the right fit for this business. But at the end of the day, he found that, oh, actually what I do here can provide more job opportunity that he doesn't really aware at the moment. But then some event come up, and he learned that actually he provide job opportunity to the based on the business. So by knowing that, by finding that motivation, that clarifying motivation, it helps him to think or to act. Whenever he has to do something, he always asks himself, okay, what are the social impact that I can bring to the table if I do this or do that? So to start, if most of your results are green, Kathy, I would suggest to see your own the motivation at first, and find and ask yourself, what are the most significant thing that move you until this moment? Am I answering your question?
Yes, actually, it makes me have a follow-up question. That's a good thing, right?
Awesome. Yes, please ask the question, challenging questions.
Okay. So I do notice that my motivation is appreciation, and after receiving the result, it explains why I'm struggling throughout my career. Because even though that the pay is good, I never feel satisfied. So the test result really explains everything. So what I'm lacking is the appreciation. So what kind of investment or in industry that deals with appreciation, motivation? Thanks.
Okay, what kind of the investment area? Okay, on that part, I might need Arifin and Raka's answer later, but I will answer, start with the appreciation motivation. Yeah, what you are looking for, if your motivation is appreciation, actually a sincere thank you, or something that is more subtle, not within the spotlight, below the radar, and then from someone that you respect more say thank you to you. Actually, that is something that will motivate you more. So on that case, I would suggest something that doesn't require your presence on the front line, and you might choose something that you can contribute more behind the scene.
That is so true. Thanks.
Yeah, so make sure that, because if you don't understand this, sometimes people will get mixed between appreciation and acknowledgement. If any one of you got the report tells you that your motivation is acknowledgement, it will be the opposite of Kathy. You need to be on the spotlight. You need to make sure your contributions is being seen, and the more people see you, your effort is better. So this is something that we call it, we in Cavlent call it the twins, but it has different character. Don't mix it, because if your motivation is appreciation, but you are getting acknowledged by the public, it will demotivate you, and vice versa happen as well.
Thank you. Good answer.
Feel better?
I feel so much better. so much clearer. Thanks.
If I
Yes,
may
Raka.
add to what Jay is saying, so I think it also clarifies what you said in the beginning, that you are a bit shy in camera. So as Jay mentioned, the opposite of acknowledgement. And I think
So
that
it's
is why,
in line.
yeah, that is very in line. And I think that is also why angel investing could be a right thing to explore, because with angel investment, I think Arifin mentioned in the kickoff and also last week, that on top of the support of the capital, but also sharing your expertise, your knowledge, your networks to supporting the business. And I think when saying what types of investment, when you have a motivation of appreciation, it also to start looking on how can you support this business beyond just the capital. I think that's aligned with what Mas Jay is saying. And yeah, so hopefully we can explore that later throughout the program. Especially then I think what is clear for appreciation is to really have a close connection, yeah, with the startup or the SMEs that you are gonna support in angel investing. Continue, Mas.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes, to add what Raka just said, Kathy, and for everyone that have the appreciation motivation, what you need to find is a contribution, a significant contribution, but you don't need too many people to know. So you just need to make sure which people that you think need to know your contribution, and that's all. But again, if you don't get it from that person or that group of people, it will demotivate you as well. So really need to pay attention on, I would say something more private is pay attention more on your self-talk, Kathy.
What kind of self-talk that you are referring to? May I ask?
I think I have done a huge contribution, but why that people or why those group of, let's say the person that you think that you already helped or person that you look up doesn't really appreciate you, your effort, or maybe not seeing your effort. Because if you have that, like that sparkling of self-questioning, if you are not aware, it will become, well, I think I'm not good enough, or I'm not feeling appreciated, and why am I here? That's what I mean.
I understand. Thank you.
Can you relate?
I really relate. Thank you.
Yes. And hopefully, please manage your expectation, yeah, and please take care of yourself on this case, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for the question. I think I would just like to check whether anyone still won. If not, I think we can proceed. So I would take over from Arivin because Arivin had to move to another agenda. So I would say thank you to my Mas Jay for the sharing today, and hopefully for those who haven't filled in or haven't done the questionnaire, you can try, and later on we will still share the result to you. And after this, I will continue sharing. So with the Angel Studio program, we have different formats of activities. And as mentioned last week, currently we are in the learning phase. So mostly are done online, but we already foresee that during the month of March, we'll have an offline session on the 20th. So it is coming the sixth session. So it's coming in 4 weeks. So I would just to let you guys know in advance, and we'll also email you later after this. For next week, we'll have the format for business introduction. Basically, in business introduction, the one that we'll invite to the room is the owner of the business. And for next week, we'll introduce all of you to Vincent from Filogelato. Maybe you've also start noticing Filogelato, especially if you live in Jakarta. They start having the stores everywhere. And yeah, basically Vincent will share on how to turning challenge into chances. And then that's for next week. And then the week after, we'll have two speakers in one session. So we'll have both the peer-to-peer and also the business introduction. So for the peer-to-peer, we'll have David Sukasing from Angin, maybe also more familiar with Angin in terms of angel investor. And David will share a deep dive into angel investing, basically sharing his expertise, sharing his experience in running an angel investor community for years, and also most importantly, or more importantly for the aspiring angel investor, is on the topic of due diligence. How do we basically conduct due diligence when exploring a business? And then we also have Ternakin will be joining in on the 6th of March. Ternakin is one of businesses that have a more focus on green innovation or green impact, so sustainability. So this could be an interesting for you. And then on the 14th, we have another peer-to-peer, but also targeted especially for those joining from abroad, so the diaspora. And that is the upcoming 4 session that we have. And then on the 20th, we'll have an offline session. We'll share to you later on. Just to note, because on month of March, we'll have fasting. So for during the fasting season, we will move the schedule more towards the afternoon. We're proposing to do it during the lunchtime, but this may be a bit early. So I will reach out to those who are staying abroad on how we can facilitate the timing. And for the one on the 14th of March, the timing is still also to be confirmed. But based on the poll that we shared through your email, the majority prefers to do it on the weekdays instead of weekend. But in terms of the timing, it's still a fair between the 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ask this back to the speaker or to the guest speaker. So the range of time will be from on starting 5 to 7. So whichever the speaker can do, will take on that. So that is what is our approach currently on the scheduling. Again, with every session, we'll do a recording and we'll share to you after. But we really hope that you can also join in live, so you can also ask. Maybe regarding the schedule, if any of you would like to raise, if you have any suggestion or if you have any concern with the timing, please kindly share. Okay, if not, you can also share if you have any concern with the timing through email or through personal reach out. And with that, once again, thank you, Mas Jay, for the session. Thank you for starting the peer-to-peer session. And yeah, with all of you, hopefully this could be a good starting point to understand what about yourself, especially in your investing journey. And then throughout the week, we'll have more interaction with the businesses, and we also have more specific topic, especially in relation to preparing you on your journey in doing angel investing. Okay, without further ado, then I think we can stop the session here. Really appreciate for those of you who have given their time to come to the session today. And if you have any question, feel free to email and to share it. And with that, I will end the session here. And